Good morning. Welcome 2026 and welcome to all my doll friends out there. Wow, what a blast 2025 was. It was busy. It was crazy. It was the year where my business goals were so big for me that I just felt like it emptied out my gas tank to get across the finish line. And I'm sitting here thinking, it's a little bit before 6 in my area, and just to clear things up, I did not stay up till midnight because I didn't even last that long. I woke up when I heard bangs outside. They were celebrating fireworks and all, and I figured, oh, we have officially entered into 2026. And I don't know where 2025 went. It was a fast forward moving business type of situation. So I was talking to, I belong to quite a few different groups, and I like to surround myself with people who are so far ahead of me that I usually feel like the baby bird in the house. Um, and it's a lot easier for those quotes that you see on Facebook, on Instagram, and all those places where they're talking about, oh, if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room, and this, that, and the other. Well, let me tell you, being the non smartest person in the room is also not comfortable because it's just like one of those situations where you feel like you're doggy paddling the whole time that you're around folks like this. And I think that 2026, I have hesitated to say like a particular financial goal number for 2026. And usually I'm one of those people that I am first in line in my group to be like, I'm going for 50,000 next year. I'm going for 75 or whatever. And I think that I'm at that bell curve where like the ignorance of being a business owner has finally washed away. And this past year was like a, you know, on the ground, dirt to the face type of situation. It was hard. It was hard. I'm just gonna say exactly what it was because it was a hard year when it comes to talking about numbers that I don't know. I like when we start doing goals and we pick arbitrary numbers. I don't think that we as new business owners understand the magnitude. We don't understand the magnitude of what it takes to do that, right? And I think that I'm entering the zone in my business where I'm no longer I'm no longer ignorant enough to just pull a number out of the air without understanding, or without the agreement of how much dirt I'm gonna have to eat for it. And I'm not sure, man. I was listening to a speaker present in our group, and for whatever reason, the stage of life or the stage in the business that you're in is where you pick. So you filter messages according to your stage, not to the message, right? You can hear the same thing. I can hear the same thing over and over and over, and it like bypasses me. But whenever I'm struggling with that particular issue, that's when I'm like, wait a minute, what did you say? So that's when it catches because that's when the pain point is present for me. So, for example, like when I first started, my coach would talk so much about all these frameworks and numbers and this, that, and the other. And I was just like, dude, just break it down to kindergarten level. What do I need to do today? Like, what do I need to do right now? Because I've never been a business owner. I am a business owner. I just was not at the time, but I am a business owner now and have been for the past 4.5 years. And it's different. I'm entering the stage in my business where it is time to start leveling up and not being the worker in the business. And I have built this. I have built this just sweat, just like sweat equity, just like really, really being out there all the time. You know, I do 3 flea markets a week. During the summer, I'm traveling to 3 flea markets a week. I am going to estate sales. I'm going to auction houses. I'm going to private picks because I really developed a network this past year of people that are starting to call me to, see some private collections and that kind of thing. But so all that stuff is, I have been working in the business. And I think that this year I'm hesitating on numbers because I want to work on the business. And my coach has said this statement over and over. And for years, it was like, pew, pew, like right over my head, not even part of my equation. But I think the hesitation this year with a numbers goal is that I want to work on my business. I want to take a moment to just see how to explode it forward, but in a very intentional way. I honestly feel like I have fumbled my way into accomplishing my goals. It's like I've been scrappy. I've been clawing, scratching, fighting, just doing and doing and doing. And I think that this year I want to be very intentional in how I would like to grow my business to a level that I don't know what it's going to take to get there yet. So at what point do we sit down and think? And I think I've reached that point, right? I think that I'm a slow learner, apparently, because it's taken me 4 years to get here. Some people sat and thought about their business a long time ago, and that's, we all learn at different times, and that's totally fine. And some people can explode a business really fast, and some of us take a little bit longer. I'm one of those people who I want to grow, but I don't want to burn out, I don't want to crash and burn the business. I think that for me, I am sitting here journaling. I'm sitting here really looking for wisdom from within and wisdom from those that surround me to be very intentional in how I'm going to grow the business next. And today I'm on deck for explaining to my coach how I'm going to grow the business to $500,000. I don't have a clue. I don't know. I sat down yesterday. I journaled about it. I sat down with ChatGPT and I was just prompting it to help me think like a CEO of a doll business, because that's what I run. I run a doll acquisition business, and I need to start thinking less like a worker and more like a CEO. And I've never had a job title that was that. I've always leveled up at every job I go. Actually, come to think of it, every job I go, I end up leveling up to like supervisor, but not quite manager, and not quite like going above that. So running the business itself is just really making me think that for the past few years, I have been running it like a worker. I'm like, this is mine, this is mine, this is my baby. I don't want to share it. I don't want other people touching it. I've been like I've been like a selfish person with toys. That's what I've been. I'm just like, this is my baby. I want to curate it. I want to grow it. I want to learn it. I want to figure it out. And I'm just like, I haven't been willing to share any responsibility. And then I'm wondering why I'm feeling a little burnt out right now. And because this past year was an amazing year. It was fun, don't get me wrong. I have zero complaints about it. God has been so good to me, and things aligned, and I got very lucky this past year, because I believe in luck. I know that luck does play a factor in this whole situation. And I was in the right places at the right time, and things happened exactly how they had to happen. And it was beautiful surprises, and we crossed the finish line that I thought would take me quite a few more years to do. So when my coach is talking about $500,000, that to me sounds like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That is a pretty hefty number. So how do I break this down? The honest to God's truth is that's what I'm working on right now. That's why I'm recording right now, because I have this yarn ball in my head, and I'm trying to figure out how are we going to break this down. I think that the smaller goals are a lot easier to break down. At least that's what I'm telling myself at this moment. I think that as the numbers get bigger, my heart palpitations start to really sink in. And I think to myself, if this year was a marathon, then 500,000 would be like a triathlon, like a 50-miler. And that sounds pretty hard right now. That sounds like a really hefty lift. So, and also I want to incorporate a little bit more. There is no balance for me. Come to think of it, there really is no balance when it comes to work-life situation. I know that people always talk about you have to balance it out, but the reality is that if you're building a business, and if you're building it to a certain level, you just focus hard on different situations in your life at a given moment. But I don't necessarily believe that there's balance. And, I may be wrong. I'm open to being wrong. But for me, there really is no balance. There's just like for me, I'm either 100% going this way or going that way or whatever. So I think like I am a mom of grown kids, and I think that what they do to get my full attention is that when they want mom attention, they want me to go visit them for a week. They don't come here. They make me visit them, because if I'm here, I slither away into the 100 other things that I'm doing. And if I'm there, I don't have my whole business right there with me, so I'm there. Although I do, this year I did discover quite a few things by visiting my girls and that kind of thing. So um, I don't know. I don't know what balance looks like. Um, I would love to see what a woman who has a big business and is able to balance it all. I would love to see what that looks like. I would love a mentorship of that kind. I'm not there yet, but I would love to see what that looks like. Um, so I don't know. I don't even know what the topic of the conversation is today, as a matter of fact, because I'm just trying to figure this out. I am in limbo and idea protection. First I have to have the idea, and I don't know what's causing I don't know what's causing the little bit of pause. Like, sit back, and before you commit to anything, just sit back for a moment and think about it. And obviously I can't keep thinking about it for a month, or maybe I can, I'm not sure. Um, but something is making me feel like I need to pause and think before I go running again. Um, and maybe it was the fact that this year was not an easy reach. It just wasn't. It was in it. My numbers came through good at the very end, right before Christmas, but it was a hard race. It was a hard race. It's like when you sign up for some races and you didn't realize that there was, quite a few hills, and you're running on flat land thinking everything's cool, and then all of a sudden you see those peaks. Yeah, that's what it was for me. So, and yet we pay to go back to those races, right? Like there's just, we pay for the pain. I don't know. We pay for the pain. I don't know what it is. Anyways, so welcome to the messy middle. This is what it looks like for me to sit in la la land, to sit and just try to figure out my ideas. And right now I am publicly brainstorming, and I don't know where I'm going yet. So that's where I'm at. Welcome to 2026.